Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Get to Know Our Partners. Conosciamo i nostri partner. Today, I'm here with a super special guest here with me, all the way from Thailand, but British by origin, Alexandra, who is the owner and founder of Curtain Hub Studio. Hi, Alexandra. How are you?
Hello. I'm good, thank you. Thank you. How are you?
Very good. Thank you so much for being here today. We have a lot of questions and things to discuss because you have reached past a lot of theater, a lot of performance, a lot of engagement and interaction with children. But before we get started, I wanted to just introduce briefly Curtain Up Studio. Because Curtain Up Studio, it's one of the only, definitely the primary, but also the main dynamic performing arts schools in Bangkok. Since 2008, Curtain Up has empowered children, teens, but also adults through theater, musical theater, and drama classes. And you've also been able, for the first time in Thailand, I would say, to create a space where really creativity, confidence, and collaboration come to life. You're also an affiliate partner of Bimbi Italiani, and you also offer special discounts for all of our members. But we wanted to now get to know you. So, Alex, let's start a little bit with you and with your journey. What inspired you to create Curtain Up Studio, and what brought you to Bangkok in the first place?
Okay, so maybe we start from the beginning. I have been in Bangkok for almost 19 years now. So I came when I was 21. I was doing a gap year. I came traveling. I spent 6 months in India, and then I moved over to Thailand, where I really fell in love with the place. And I traveled around for a little bit, and then I ended up in Koh Samet. I stayed in Koh Samet for about 4 or 5 months. And whilst I was there, I was doing lots of bits and bobs. I was doing some things online. I was helping out teaching English in one of the resorts there to the staff. And whilst I was there, I met lots of people that lived in Bangkok, that were teaching in Bangkok, and I realized that it was something that I could do. So when my trip came to an end, I went back to the UK and I worked for a little bit. I saved up and I came back over to Thailand with the aim to stay for a year and teach English in a Thai school. I did that for a year, and then I ended up working for a company that worked teaching drama in schools around the city. That company ended up closing down, which then kind of left me with the opportunity and the space to open up Curtain Up, which I opened up with a friend of mine, actually, also called Alex, who was around for a few years, and then he went back to the UK to work in musical theatre. I think that I've always believed in the power of theatre, that it's more than just performance. I guess it's a way for people, especially children, to understand themselves and the world around them. I think that at the time, Bangkok was lacking that. You know, it was very, the subjects very academic. There wasn't much option for creativity in subjects here. So there was a real open space for us to kind of open Curtain Up. We wanted to offer a space that creativity and confidence and self-expression were just as important, I would say, as technique. So that the company's been open probably for around 16 years, 16, 17 years. It started off very small, and then we grew quite organically. People loved what we did, and we opened up an array of studios over the time. We started building the brand, offering more things, and it kind of grew as Bangkok did, and the opportunities in Bangkok also grew.
And that's very amazing because, as you mentioned, Curtain Up has been part of the community in Bangkok since 2008. And I'm also myself a mom of children that have been coming to Curtain Up Studios for different opportunities that it offers, single workshop, but also camps and so on. And it's true what you're saying that environments like Bangkok or Southeast Asia generally, they often lack this type of expressive art. And here
Mhm.
I want to talk a little bit more because definitely with Curtain Up Studio, you saw an opportunity to bring us and foster creativity in dynamics that tend to be much more academic and traditional.
Mhm.
But how then, if you could just describe it, how would you describe the studio's mission, and how do you feel it has evolved over the years? Because it must have been a journey, right, from 2008 up to 2025, 26
Um,
actually.
yeah, for sure. I mean, just in terms of a studio space, originally when we started, we rented spaces when we need them, and we worked from office from home, and then we moved into our first studio space, which was um, a small studio in 31 or 33/1, something like that, a tiny, tiny studio space. And that's when it kind of really boomed. And then we moved into a bigger space. So we've had various spaces over the year. Obviously, COVID shut that down for many years. And then our recent space is kind of was my dream that we always had in terms of the space. We've got 3 studio spaces. We have a garden where the kids can play. We have a space where the kids can have lunch. We can host birthday parties. We have enough storage for all the stuff. So in terms of actual studio spaces, we're right where we want to be in terms of the space. But in terms of the kind of company, I guess our mission has always been to kind of nurture confident, creative young people through theatre. I always felt that we were a bit more, Curtain Up was a bit more about just putting on shows. It was kind of about building a community, I'd say, where children can feel safe to be themselves and to grow. I think that aside from size and capacity, the studio has evolved with that community. I think that we've expanded our programs greatly. We've welcomed many, many more families, many more diverse students. And I guess we've adapted to the changing of children's needs and teens. But I guess we've always kind of stayed the same, where we want to create fun, creativity, and inclusion for everybody.
And we come back to talk a little bit more about your program's expansion because you have expanded a lot also in targeting
Mm-hmm.
and offerings. But let's also go back to a point that you mentioned that was about talking about children and teens and the impact that theater and performing arts has on them, especially in terms of confidence, creativity, and emotional growth. How do you see that impact in children, and what differences do you notice in them from the day they come to Curtain Up, the first time that they might be a little bit shy, up to the last day of their journey? How do you see that translating in them?
I think that the impact is huge. I think that at Curtain Up, we have such an array of different kids that come. We have kids who have never been on a stage before. We have kids who are incredibly shy. We have kids who are outgoing. We have kids who are learning English, and we have kids who or just learning English, and we have kids that are native speaker. We have kids that come abroad, especially for the program. So it's such a diverse community that we have, which I think, helps the kids and the children find their voice. I don't think, not always literally as well, but I think that it also helps with, whilst it helps with the confidence and all those skills, I also think it can help kids emotionally. You can see the shy kids kind of grow in confidence, and you can also see, I guess, the energetic kids they can kind of learn to focus and collaborate with others.
Absolutely. And one thing, Alex, I wanted to say in this, because it's so true, I saw it when I sent my kids there, how everyone will always amaze me of your approach to learning through performances, how you manage to have children in such a short time to be able to learn lines, to act out the lines, but also giving them space to contribute and look at both their creativity to perform, but also in setting up stages, So it's really a 365-degree experience in short amount of time. It's really fascinating, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think that that's what's quite important for me, is that, like we get, like I think that in general, theatre or drama or acting is quite a competitive world, and at schools and at big schools, it's very competitive, and not everybody gets a chance to be on stage or gets a chance to take part in the whole process. So for us to build a place that everybody gets a chance to do what they want to do, or as much as they can, or to be comfortable, they get to learn songs, they get to dance, they get to say lines, they get to put their ideas for scenery and set, they get to wear costumes, it's the whole process as well. And it's the kind of team spirit of them doing this all together. By the end of the week, the kids, if you're doing like a week-long program, by the end of the week, the kids are such good friends and feel really accomplished.
Absolutely. And everyone always feels like everyone finds a space within it and a way in which they fit, which always amazed me. And again, for those that are listening online and have never attended Curtain Up Studio, either those that are in Bangkok, but also those that are traveling from outside Thailand and maybe are just even here for a holiday and a visit, I would surely recommend to attend, because it's really amazing. The environment is nice, the setup and the community spirit and what it can be achieved for children in the small amount of time. Also, that some very, very in-depth performances can are all put together. And with this, I wanted to also talk a little bit about your programs, because Curtain Up Studio has been evolving and now offers a really wide range of programs that runs from beginners, children, but also can target more experienced performers and even adults now. I know that there are even more things for adults. So yeah, tell us more about all the type of classes and programs Curtain Up offers, and how do you manage to create such an inclusive and nurturing environment for all, really?
I guess I will answer the last part first. I think that a lot of it is obviously it's the whole team that we have. We really make sure that we have a caring team, have a team that understands our visions and our goals, and a team that's energetic and loving. And I think that really shows by how much the kids adore their teachers and want to come back, and that really helps to create that nurturing environment. I think that it's important that every child feels welcome and supported. I think that in our classes, perhaps we focus on encouragement, like rather than criticism, and progress rather than perfection. And I think that by that, we can create like a positive environment where children feel confident to explore and grow at their own pace. And with regards to our program, we have plenty of things. We have our regular classes where people can come for a full term and they come once a week. We have drama, we have musical theatre, we have youth theatre for the teens, we have K-pop dancing, we teach magic. We have playful performers, which is a storytelling sort of acting class role play class for little kids. those are our kind of regular weekly programs. Most Sundays we have a one-off workshop where this is great for people who are just visiting, for people who can't commit to a full term. They can vary. They can be a film workshop. We've started, getting guest people in to come and do workshops. They can be film workshops. They could be musical theatre workshops. They could be themed about a certain theme, and the kids will come, and most of them end with an end product, so there'll be a little show for parents, or there'll be a little movie made for parents. We do kids' birthday parties, so we do them at the studio, or we go out to people's condos or wherever they're having the party and provide themed entertainment. We do after school clubs in lots of schools around the city. We run workshops in schools, so like theatre-based workshops. We go in and run storytelling workshops, puppet workshops, lots of different things. Lots. We also offer, we've started last year, we started doing our own sort of interactive performances for kids based on popular fairy tales. So we have like Little Pigs, Three Little Pigs, Little Red Riding Hood, Goldilocks, and these have been a hit. We've done them at the studio and they're always kind of like sold out. They're about 45 minutes long, musical, very interactive stuff that myself and the team have written. And now we've started doing those in schools, which is nice because it's something that is very popular in England. And I noticed that they didn't have that here. And I think probably what we're most popular with is our holiday camps. We have lots of kids that come back, year after year or holiday after holiday. And they are a week-long holiday camp. So we call it Show in a Week. And the kids come and it will be a particular show, whatever is chosen for that holiday. And every kid will get a role, and we will learn lines, we will learn songs, we will learn dances. And as I mentioned before, we will build set and scenery. And then on the Friday, we will invite parents in to come and watch the show. And we have, last but not least, we have just started, we've tried out a few adult workshops, so we're kind of just bringing those in slowly. We've done a few improv nights for adults, which were fun, and we've done a couple of workshops, so there should be more of those coming soon.
Absolutely, will be great. And I'm sure that the Italian women out there especially will really enjoy some performing with wine.
Yeah, well, that's what we did, yeah. It loosens everybody up a little bit. A glass of wine and they're a bit more, the inhibitions go away.
That's amazing. And also nice, the classic part. It will be nice one day, who knows, maybe there will be a Pinocchio coming out of Curtain Up, which was an amazing Italian classic.
That's a good idea.
And also, you didn't mention, but you, Alexandra, have also been able to bring theater performances, right? Of stories. There is one you and I now bringing, Tiger King for tea. Sorry, the English names of books are really like hard on me. And you did another performance, and you're one of the first one that really introduced theater for children where they can go and watch. Because for those that are outside Thailand, there are not many opportunities for children to actually go to theater.
Yeah,
and
so
just watch a show.
Oh, sorry.
Go, please.
No, so last year, or maybe 2 years ago, I got contacted by Christine, who is a Thai lady that lives in Bangkok, and she loves theatre, and she is a parent herself, and she asked me, she said she was really keen to bring a show over from the UK. Would I like to team up with her? And I feel like I'm a kind of yes lady, yes girl. So I was like, sure, we can, yes, I'd love to, like, Bangkok needs this. So we opened up a new company called Bangkok Theatre Project, and we brought our first show over in 2024. And so, yeah, so we've been bringing shows over. Currently, they've just been from the UK. So they're like musicals brought over from the UK. So full sets, full costume designs, you know, actors from abroad. They're played in the West End, they're played in UK, and they travel around as well. So we've brought 2 over so far, and we've got another one coming in March. So the aim for that is to bring about 2 shows a year, because there really just isn't that anything like that here in Bangkok for kids.
Absolutely. And you know, I personally always found what you do and the fact that you facilitate this kind of access to performing art that doesn't exist to be really an unbelievable and huge achievement, especially to bring things in countries that are not ours, right? Which means also getting to know a lot of new context. Couple of more questions from my side. Now, you talked in the beginning a lot about community. So we always describe everything that you do from its origin to be very community grounded. Now, since last year, Curtain Up has become a partner of Bimbi Italiani. So there is this shared community value. How do you see this engagement with Bimbi Italiani or also with other communities related to Curtain Up? What does it mean for you, the community value inside?
I mean, I think collaborating with other companies, with partnering with people and schools is really important to us. I think Bimbi Italiani shares similar values about community and culture and supporting families raising children in a multicultural environment. I think it allows us to create more opportunities for children to connect and express themselves. And it helps to support families through activities and shared experiences.
Which is amazing. And sharing experiences, this links to my last question, because here it's more of an advocacy and messages from your side. Now, if out of your experience, what message would you like to share with families who would like to introduce their children to the world of theater? And especially those living between cultures and different languages.
Yeah, I think that theatre is a nice bridge between, well, a beautiful bridge between cultures and languages. I think that you don't need to be fluent or experienced. I think that theatre can kind of come to children and meet them where they are. I think that it can offer space where children can express themselves freely, they can build confidence, and they can feel understood. I guess my message to parents would be that theatre isn't about creating performers, it's about helping children grow into confident, creative, and happy individuals.
And that's wonderful. And with this beautiful message, I really want to thank you for taking the time to be with us today. But before we say bye to one another, can you just tell us if someone wants to reach out to you and to Curtain Up? We will, of course, put all of the information also in the description and everything. But how do they reach out to Curtain Up? Where do they go? Can you give us your website or Instagram pages?
Yeah, you can contact us on loads of different avenues or channels. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Line, we have a website. Our Instagram handle is at curtain_up_BKK, and our website is curtainup.studios. There we go.
That's wonderful. And we will definitely put all this info also in the description of this episode. With this in mind, I thank you so much for taking the time.
Sure, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. And to all of you that are following us, well, see you next month with another wonderful episode and interview or get to know our partners.
Thanks
Bye,
for inviting
Alexandra.
me.
Bye,
Bye.
bye,
See
bye,
you. Bye.
bye.
Ben italiani lontani da casa, con la cultura nel cuore si fa strada. L'italiano impariamo tutti insieme, nella classe la gioia non si tiene. Alla pizza